Yep, so we have Ohio State in the gray, and we have Rutgers in their black. The big red R on it, so you can't miss that.
So Romero coming into this match ranked 5th in the country. He's a redshirt senior. There's going to be a really big experience gap here, taking on Brian Soldano, who, like you said, is a freshman.
Yeah, Soldano is sitting at 18-3. Like you said, he has a little tall order here.
Romero gets to his bread and butter with the blast double, looking for some potential near fall there, but Soldano able to squirm out of it.
This is where that experience, just a senior and freshman, I mean, it's just tough to overcome that maturity of, the mat presence and, but, you're sitting there at 18-3. I'm sure not all those 18 wins were against other freshmen and sophomores. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we see it now more than ever that these freshmen have some pretty quick learning curves. As we head out of bounds, it's going to stay 2-0. Romero able to get 37 seconds of riding time after that first takedown. So we'll get a restart with Soldano on bottom.
Pretty important right now, to try to get out there and get away from, get back to your feet. For the freshmen, it's like, there we go.
Try to mitigate some riding time. It's also very consume a lot of energy on bottom sometimes. So we'll head back to neutral. It'll be 2-1 Romero leading. Able to get 44 seconds of riding time.
You see Soldano playing the mat game a little bit. He's already not probably feeling too confident on his feet, so he's going to try to ride the edge of the mat a little bit and see if he can escape another takedown if he gets that situation.
There's a high crotch by Romero in a crackdown position, trying to find a way to finish it. Trying to headhunt, and he's going to go into a barrel roll, and he's going to take him to his back. No 2 yet, though. And there's going to be the 2, just a limp arm for Romero. He's going to try to transition to near fall again. Has a half, but is missing the arm. So Soldano's going to be able to base back and avoid any more points.
And that riding time just keeps racking up here for Romero.
Yep, now over a minute with 30 seconds left in the first. Romero's going to drop down to a leg, and they're going to go out of bounds as Soldano's foot steps off the mat. So we'll head back to the center. 23 seconds left. Romero's probably going to try to ride out this period, finish on top.
Let's say Soldano gets out. If he can get out and get that 1 point, get himself at least a takedown, going into the second period, I'd say that's a win for a freshman.
Yeah, just being down by within 1 score is a big deal. We're going to get a stall call on Romero there. Doesn't seem too concerned about it, though.
We just said we got 2 ranked guys. Ranked number 14 and ranked number 5. Matthew, what kind of gap is that in wrestling?
At a lot of weights, that can be a pretty big gap. It'll tend to be a couple tiers as we'll end the first period. Romero definitely going to try to make a point that there are some tiers to 184, between the 5 rank and the 14 rank. It's going to be Romero's choice, and he's going to take bottom to start the second. 1 minute and 35 seconds of riding time for him. And he's going to get out quickly and preserve most of that. And now he has a 5-1 lead.
Romero came off a hot start this season, 10-0, and then he came across some meat grinders with some other ranked guys.
Yeah, he's been one of the most consistent wrestlers in Ohio State's lineup. He hasn't had any losses that are head scratchers. He's beaten guys he's supposed to, and guys that are within arm's reach of him, higher or lower, or sometimes the guys he falls to, but he's been very consistent. And bonus points could be a factor in this meet. Both teams have a couple of wrestlers banged up, so we're not going to see full strength. So sometimes that can provide opportunities for chaos, teams getting points where they wouldn't normally expect to be. So bonus points, especially early on in the meet until you see things kind of play out. I'm sure the coaches are going to be wanting Kaleb Romero not only to win the match, but hopefully get a couple extra bonus points as well.
It's got to be a nice thing about having events like the MSU Open where you can get some guys that are, in that depth chart, some opportunities to get some live action so they can come into a match like this where a guy might be banged up and at least they're not coming in with no match experience.
Shot attempt by Soldano, stopped by Romero, just about 25 seconds left here in the second. Escape has been the only score so far this period.
As we looked ahead into the third, Soldano could look like he struggled to get an escape. So, what's the thought processing going into that? What do you choose?
That's a good question. I think if I'm Rutgers, I'd still go bottom because I know Romero in his head, he wants bonus points. So I think he does take bottom.
Yep.
I think they're going to expect Romero to kick him because he's going to need, unless he can turn him, he's going to need a couple takedowns. So I think they're hoping that Romero, maybe he'll ride for a little bit, but ultimately let him go. A big mat return from Romero. Soldano able to keep his base. And he's going to get right back to his feet as they go towards the edge of the mat, and they're going to go out.
You got to remember, Romero still has that initial stall call.
He does. So Romero's still getting a little bit of riding time. Again, got to think he's going to be wanting bonus points. So unless he gets a turn here, he's going to need a couple of takedowns. Riding time is not locked, but I think we can assume that for all intents and purposes. Romero continuing to ride tough. Doesn't really seem to be working towards a turn yet. Just a lot of tough riding as they go to the edge of the mat again, and we'll head out and head back to the center of the mat. So if we give Romero the riding time point, he's up by 5 points. So
yeah, just for our folks watching, a major decision, Matthews, 1 to 7 points. So he's got
over
I'm
7.
sorry, over
yeah.
7. Yeah, sorry,
regular
over
decision
7.
1 to 7. Yeah.
Over 7. Yep, that's the regular decision. So we're looking. There's a little bit of strategy going on with the coaching staffs, right?
Right.
When you're looking at your matchups and saying, hey, we'd really like to get that extra point here if we can.
Right. Yeah, Romero hasn't really been close to a turn, so I'm a little bit surprised that he's not trying to go to his feet. He's asking the coaches if they want him to kick him. Didn't catch the response, so we'll see what happens here.
Well, his last time out against Harris from Indiana, he had a fall, and before that he won 10-4. So he's kind of all over if you look at his matches. Some guys are pen guys, they look for that fall, and some guys are on the mat guys, feet guys. We got to look at everything that goes into it. It looks like
Romero more known for his neutral work. Not that he can't turn or pin, but that's definitely been his bread and butter. It does just take one turn as Soldano turns into him. Might have been a big mistake, and he's going to lock up a really tight half. A 4 count's going to give him enough points for the majors. He settles into the turn, looking for the pin, and there's the pin for Kaleb Romero with 14 seconds left in the period. Kaleb Romero plays the long game, waits for his opportunity, and capitalized on it. Pumped up. So that's going to put the Buckeyes up to an early lead. It's going to be 6 points for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, Soldano, he was swimming in the deep end with no floaties on that match, I think.
Yeah, Soldano just made one mistake. He turned into Romero just a little bit, which gave him an opening to throw in that half. And the rest was history. So now we're going to head to 149 pounds. Sammy Sasso, Ohio State's highest ranked wrestler at number 3. He'll be taking on Anthony White, a sophomore from Rutgers. So shot by White off the whistle. He gets in deep, but this is definitely somewhere where Sasso is comfortable. He's going to pull him into short offense, sucking him in, trying to hook that back leg. And there he gets it hooked, and there's going to be a takedown for Sasso.
Sasso's on that win, 2 wins streak, but it's only lost in the last 10 matches or so. Comes Northern Iowa's Colin Robuto, and he's number 25. So you said that might have been an upset right there for
definitely
Sasso.
Definitely an upset for Sasso. But other than that, he's been fairly consistent. He's got 2 losses on the year, two good wrestlers. So does he have 2 or 3?
3.
3 losses.
Yep.
He's been one of those guys. He's, the highest ranked guy for Ohio State. But every once in a while, have a couple head scratchers. I know, especially in the Virginia Tech match, he was the first match. Might have been a little bit of a weight issue. He definitely gassed a little bit as he hits a from space double. It's going to come out the back door. White hanging on to both ankles.
One of those 3 losses coming to Gomez out of Wisconsin, who that could be the Big Ten final, if everything works out.
Yeah, very well. So there's going to be another takedown for Sasso.
For Rutgers in this situation, it might be one of those don't get pinned, but unfortunately with the 17-6 score.
Yeah, they need points.
They need points.
So just under a minute riding time for Sasso. It's going to be 56 seconds exactly right now as White gets an escape. Just over a minute left here in the first.
White being a sophomore, he's sitting at 10-6. I mean, this is one of those matches where, if you're trying to look for some bright, shiny stars there, Coach Goodell will say, hey, you got an experience match today. You're going out here, you're going to wrestle the best. And good chance you might see him in the early rounds of the Big Ten, tournament, at least get a feel there.
Yeah, definitely valuable experience here. Sasso in short offense, trying to get an angle. White's going to work out of it, and Sasso able to circle around, gets a leg. And there's going to be a takedown. Sasso's going to go right to a right side boot. He's got 15 seconds here to work. Over a minute riding time now. It looks like he's just going to finish this period on top. So he'll take a 6-2 lead into the second. A minute 16 of riding time. And it's be White's choice to start the second. He'll go right back down. Maybe hoping that Sasso will let him up. So Sasso riding really high, hanging that right leg, maybe trying to slip it in if the opportunity presents itself. He'll go mat return. And there goes the right boot. Almost, and he pulls it in with his own hand.
He's trying to get a little extra practice there, I think, trying to work on some things.
Got the figure 4 on the right side.
I would imagine some of these guys look at matches like this and they get in there and they say, hey, I'm not going to get my 2-hour practice in today, so I got to get out here and get a workout in at least. Unfortunate situation for Anthony White, but like we said earlier, he's got to get some experience. He's only a sophomore.
Sasso might be looking for that bow and arrow. He looked back at that ankle. And there's going to be a stall call against White. Again, I know that's the way it's called, but what are you supposed to do?
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah, I always found it interesting that you're getting penalized in two ways. You're getting the riding time and I mean, it's like there's no advantage to stalling in that scenario.
Yeah. So Sasso has that figure 4 back in on the right now, just a boot. Now nothing. Reaching back for the ankle. Might be trying to go for that bow and arrow. Doesn't really have everything he needs for it. Just 20 seconds to go left in the second.
I feel like that's a little difference in the college match versus the high school match. You twist an ankle like that a little bit in high school. I think they're quick to.
Yeah, a little more cautionary.
Yeah, a little cautionary, blow it.
So not much action going on, just a couple boots in and out, and that's going to do it for the second period. So no scoring there. Bunch of riding time. It is locked up already here since Sasso has 3 minutes and 16 seconds. And he's going to take his 6-2 lead and take bottom to start the third. So he's got a 5-point lead right now with riding time. If he gets out, that's a 6-point lead. So all he'd need is a takedown to get a major, assuming he rides out. So Sasso gets to his feet and away. So
Oh, go ahead.
I say Sasso need at least one takedown and a ride out, but might try to get a pair of takedowns just to avoid the anomalous escape at the last second.
We haven't really seen him try to turn him a whole lot. I would think Coach Ryan might want to see maybe going in a match like this, might have anticipated a fall or a tech fall of some level.
We've seen him do the bow and arrow a couple times. Seems like a new thing this year. It looks like he looked for it when he was on top, but didn't really commit to it. Sasso has a body lock, and White's going to drop down to his knees. Nothing yet here.
1 minute remains in regulation. 1 minute.
Just 1 minute to go. Again, Sasso going to want that takedown to get the major, and there's a shot by White. Gets in deep. Sasso's knees a little bit tied up there, and there's going to be your potentially dangerous. 48 seconds to go. Shot by Sasso, gets in on a head and side single. Trying to suck it in and get the corner. Just misses hook in the leg. Looks back door, it's not there.
30 seconds remain.
30 seconds to go. He's gonna come back to circling.
He's got to get the riding time, so we know that.
And there's gonna be a stalemate. 23 seconds to go. Sasso on the offensive now, trying to get that major. And there's a duck attempt with a stall call. That's going to be one, but he's going to need at least one more. And there's going to be the takedown for Sammy Sasso. So he can give up an escape here, but going to ride it out. And that's going to be an 11-2 victory. Major decision for Ohio State's Sammy Sasso.
Yeah, Anthony White really didn't have much of a chance going into that match, but I think he played it probably about as good as he possibly could. Against the number 3 ranked guy.
Yeah, definitely a tough matchup. So we have at least 2 matches left. Not sure if 74 is going to happen based on the match score, but we should be seeing at least 57 and 65.